best way to avoid borders. Today, we'll be bringing you a tale of adventure on the high seas, a beloved tale of pirates, secret maps, buried treasure, and revenge. There'll be squalls ahead, so mark well before us and enjoy the Valhalla Theater Art Department's production of Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island.
Pleasant, lonely-looking city aid roadshow. Folks don't come here much, now do they?
No, sir. Not many customers saw it last.
No? Well, it's a bird for me. I don't mind to stay here a bit. Hey, you matey, you with the wheelbarrow. Help up my chest. You too, girl. It's heavy.
Yes, sir.
Call me Captain, girl. Captain.
Yes, Captain.
Just one more thing.
Yes, Captain.
You ain't seen it, have you?
See who, Captain?
A seafaring man. You might see him somewhere, you can't tell. Let me know if you do.
Yes, Captain.
With what name?
Yes, sir.
Captain!
Yes, Captain.
Bring me over.
We never knew his name. We called him the Captain. All day he wandered about the cliffs with his brass telescope, looking out to sea. And all evening he sat in the corner by the fire and drank rum. And every day when he got back from his stroll, he would ask the same question.
Any seafaring men go by today along the road?
No, Captain.
You wouldn't lie to me, would you, Jane?
No, sir.
Jane, there's a silver coin for you on the first of every month. You'll keep your eye open for a seafaring man with none leg. Call me the moment you see him.
A seafaring man with one leg, how it haunted my dreams. On stormy nights when the wind shook the house in the surfboard, I could see him, the leg cut off above me, an evil eye.
You wouldn't lie to me, Jane, would ya?
The captain stayed on week after week, month after month.
And not a penny of money, not a penny of money, Jane, has he paid us since the day he came here. And he a poor widow woman. Mother, why don't you ask me son? To be honest, I'm afraid to.
And all that time, none of us ever saw him open that great sea chest of his. There were nights when he took a deal more rum than he should.
15 man on the dead.
He would force anyone who came to the inn to listen to his stories. Dreadful stories. They were about walking the plank and storms at sea, wild deeds and places on the Spanish Main. He must have lived his life among some of the wickedest men God ever allowed upon the sea.
little darling. Is it stable for my mate Bill?
I'm lying to a man who stays at the house. We call him the captain.
Well, my mate Bill, he called the captain like he's not. Now, because that little captain's got cut one sheet, eh?
15 men on the deck.
Oh, see, there he is now. Yes. There's a problem. Hello, Bill. You knows me, old shipmate Bill Charlie.
Black dog. So, you run me down. Well, what is it? Speak up then.
Oh, that's you, Bill. Always right to it, Billy. We'll have a glass of rum. Sit down and you please out like old shipmate. Sit down, Bill, and you, darling. Get some more drink for us, huh?
Yes, sir.
And none of you listening, I'll need you here.
For a while, I could do nothing but a low gabbing. Suddenly,
No, and none of it. If it comes to swinging, swing all, say I. Take that, you blackguard. No.
I'll steal you, kid.
You'll be feeding the fishes. Ah!
saw Black Dog, streaming blood, run off down the road. Presently, the captain returned, alone.
Jane!
Here, Captain.
Bring me some rum.
Captain, are you hurt?
I must get away from here. Get away! That's what.
Help! What's happened, Jane? It's the captain, Mother. He's wounded. The captain? Oh, dearie me. I've heard a friend of something like this ever since he came into this house with that old chest of his.
I got the rum and tried to put it down his throat, but his teeth were tightly shut and his jaws as strong as iron. An hour later, our friend Dr. Livesey came in.
Where's Black Dog?
Black Dog? There is no Black Dog. You've been drinking rum, man, and you've had a stroke. Now listen to me. Rum will kill you. If you take even one glass, you'll die. And the world will be rid of a very dirty scoundrel.
About noon the next day, I stopped at the captain's door. Captain?
Who is it?
It's me, Jane.
Oh, come in, Jane. Come in.
He was lying very much as we had left him.
Now you see, Jane, I'm pretty low and deserted by all. Jane, you'll bring me a nugget of rum, won't you?
But the doctor...
Doctor's path. If I don't have a drum of rum, I'll have the horrors again. Seen him already. Seen old Flint. Dead and buried he is, and I've seen him. Jane, I'll give you a golden guinea for a noggin of rum.
When I brought it to him, he seized it greedily and drank it out.
Oh, that's better. Now, did the doctor say how long it was to lie here?
A week at least.
Thunder! A week? I can't do that. They'd have the black spot on me by then. The thing they're after, it's in the old sea chest. That was old Flint's first mate, and he gave it me when he lay dying in Savannah. I'm the only one that knows the place he buried it.
What's the black spot, Captain?
It's a summons from old Flint's crew. And them as gets it, Jane, it's lucky when they're dead.
Then, about 3 o'clock, On a bitter, foggy, frosty afternoon, I saw someone come along the road. He was plainly blind, but he tapped the form with a stick. He was hunched as with age or weakness, and he wore a huge, old, tattered sea cloak with a hood.
I am Christian Plain. Take on a poor blind man who has not the precious sight of his eyes. Tell me, where may I be?
The Admiral Ben Bowen.
My kind young friend, will you please let me in?
I held out my hand, and within a moment, the horrible eyeless creature gripped it like a vise.
Now, girl, take me in.
Sir, upon my word, I dare not.
You heard me. Take me straight in.
Yes, sir.
Good. When I'm in view, say unto him, here's a friend for you, bare bones. If you don't, I'll twist your arm right out your body.
Yes, sir,
Stop, you child. Damn, forward march.
Here's a friend for you, Bill Bones.
Now, Bill, sit where you are. Business is business. Hold out your left hand, and go take this left hand by the wrist and bring it near to my right. Here's a pick for you, Bill Bones. Now that's done, I'll be going. Goodbye, Bill.
What time is it, Jay?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock? 10 o'clock. 6 hours. Hugh and Dirk and Long John Silver. The whole crew of them. We'll fight.
Captain? 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 Mother! Mother, the captain's dead. What? Dead? What, in our house? He owes us money, he does, and me a poor widow woman. But mother, if Black Dog or the blind man come back looking for their share of the booty, they won't be likely to pay his debts. Oh, Black Dog fiddlesticks! There's something in that old chest of his upstairs that is rightfully ours. We'll have that chest open if we die from it. Mother, look!
There, close to the dead man's hand, was a little round of paper blackened on one side.
The black spot.
I took it up and read.
You have till 10 tonight. 4 hours. Now, Jane, this chest is locked up tight. We must find that key. Perhaps it's around his neck. Tear his shirt open.
There, sure enough, was the key. My mother got a candle, and holding each other's hands, we went upstairs to his room.
Give me the key, Jane. Now then. There's nothing in here. Not a thing of value. Not a penny. Mother, look.
There, at the very bottom, lay a little bundle, tied up in oilcloth and looking like papers, and a canvas bag that gave forth at a touch the jingle of gold.
You see, young Jane, I knew we'd find it. But I will show these rogues that I'm an honest woman. I'll have me do and not a farthing over. Here, Jane, hold this bag.
The coins were of all countries and sizes, doubloons, guineas, and pieces of 8. As my mother sorted through the coins, I picked up the oilcloth packet and quickly hid it away in my breast pocket.
Mother. What is it, Jane? Mother, listen. Come, Mother. Mother, take the whole and let's be gone. No, I'll have me do and not a farthing over. But, Mother, that was the blind man. I know my rights. No, Mother, you don't see.
Oh dear, I will take what I have. Within a moment, we were in full retreat towards the village, the scoundrel shouting behind us. Faster, Mother! Oh, Jane! Mother, hurry! I'm going to faint! Take the money and go! Mother? Mother! She had fainted. I somehow managed to drag her down the bank and into the shadow of the ditch. Within a moment, the house was surrounded.
Bones? Bare bones? Bare bones, when you answer me? Down with the door there!
Aye! 1, 2, 3!
Well, is it there?
Nothing. Bill's dead. Hey, Pew. Bill's dead.
Stay till you sleep in there, and the rest of you are left inside to get it!
Our poor house was torn apart and smashed. Whatever it was they were after, they did not find it.
Shh, Mother, are you all right?
What is it, Jane?
What are they after? The mouth, Mother, fence mouth.
Gotta be lost!
You gonna give us down? You'll be rich as the king!
Get out! Out! Make it don't get bored!
Johnny? Black dog? Don't leave her, Pew! Johnny? Ah!
Hugh was stone dead, crushed by horses. The horsemen, as it turns out, were soldiers in pursuit of the pirate band. My mother was taken to a neighbor's house, and an officer and I went to go tell the Squire Trelawney about these awful events. We rode hard all day, till we reached the Squire Trelawney's door.
The Squire stuck in hand with Dr. Livesey.
The officer and I were led into the dining room. Then, the Squire rose to meet us, very stately and condescending.
Come in, friends. Good evening, Squire Trelawney. Good evening, Dr. Livesey.
Good evening to you, friend Jane. Good evening, officer. What brings you here?
The officer stood up straight and stiff and told his story.
And that is as good as nothing. They've got a fleeing and there's an end. Only, I'm glad I trod them off to Pew's corns. Good riddance to scum.
When he finished, everyone in the room eyed me critically.
Well, Hawkins, they attacked the house, you say. What were they after? Bill's money, I suppose? No, Your Honor. I believe I have the thing in my breast pocket, and to tell you the truth, I should like to put it into safety. You are a very noble fellow, and it credits your profession. As for writing down that black, atrocious mystery, I regard it as an act of your virtue, sir, like standing on a cockroach.
I say! You're telling us, Jane, you have the thing they were after?
Here it is, ma'am.
You've heard of this Captain Flint, I suppose, Squire Trelawney?
Heard of him. He was the bloodthirstiest buccaneer that ever sailed. Blackbeard was nothing compared to Flint.
Well, we have here some clue as to where Flint buried his treasure. But with that treasure, not so much.
Amount! It'll amount to this. I'll put out a ship at Bristol Dock and take you and Hawkins here along. I'll have that treasure if I search a year.
Very well, ma'am. Now, if young Jane is agreeable, we'll open the packet. It's a map of an island. A tall tree, spyglass shoulder bearing a point to the north of northeast. Skeleton Island. The bar silver is in the north cache.
Tomorrow I start for Bristol. In 2 weeks' time, I'll have a ship and a choice crew. Hawkins shall come as cabin girl, Dr. Livesey as ship doctor. I am Admiral!
I'll go with you, Squire Trelawney. So will Jane. She'll be a credit to the undertaking.
There's only one woman I'm afraid of. Who's that? Name the dog.
You, ma'am, for you cannot hold your tongue.
This was longer than the Squire Trelawney imagined. Here, we were ready for the sea. Weeks went by, and one fine day, we received a letter from the Squire, from Bristol.
Dear Dr. Livesey, our ship finally lies at anchor ready for sea. It was the crew that delayed me. Then I had the most remarkable stroke of fortune. I was settled on the dock, and by merest accident I fell in touch with an old salt. He had hobbled down there that morning with the parrot on his shoulder. I engaged him on the spot to be ship's cook. Long John Silver, he is called, and has lost a leg. I thought I had only found the cook, but it was a crew I discovered. Between Long John Silver and myself, we put together in a few days a company of the toughest salts imaginable.
On the 16th of April, 1764, the schooner Hispaniola set sail from Bristol Harbor. I can remember it as if it were yesterday. Me in my new blue cabin boy clothes, leaning over the rail, waving goodbye to my mother, trying not to cry, for it was the first time I had been away from home. Then, Captain Smollett gave an order. The boatswain sounded her pipe.
And the schooner left the dock.
Soon, the sail began to draw and the land to slip away. The Hispaniola had begun her voyage to Treasure Island. On the second day out, I made the acquaintance of Long John Silver.
Hey there, go, come in. Come on in to Long John's galley.
To tell you the truth, at the first mention of Long John Silver in the Squire's letter, I had taken fear into mind, for this made me the very one-legged sailor dreaded by Bill Bones. But one look at him was enough. I'd seen Black Dog and Blind Pew, and I knew what a buccaneer looked like. This was very different from this pleasant-looking sea cook. Under his left shoulder, he carried a crutch.
Are you Mr. Silver, sir?
Oh, yes, me lass, such is me name to be sure. And you're Watkins, eh? First trip to sea, lady?
Yes, sir.
Well, there's a lot of things you're going to learn before this your voyage is over. And if there's anything you want to know, Watkins, you just come to old John Silver and ask him to see. Here's Captain Flint. I come up here at Captain Flint. Yes, Captain Flint, up to the famous buccaneer. Hey, she's a type of bird, is Captain Flint. 20 years old if she's a day.
At the end of the third week, we left Madeira behind us. The ship proved to be a good ship. The seamen, capable. There was only one person aboard who was not satisfied, and this was Captain Smollett.
I'll stay plain. I don't like it. I don't like the crews. I don't like the men. I don't like the officers. That's short and sweet.
But nobody paid much attention to her. Every man on board seemed well content. Double grog was served on the least excuse, and always a barrel of apples standing waist high for anyone helping himself who had a fancy.
Never no good coming of yet. Handing out apples. You spoil the crew. You make doubles.
But good did come out of that apple barrel. It was the last day of our outward voyage. We were coming close to the side of Treasure Island when just after sundown, after all my work was over, I thought I should like an apple too. So I ran out on deck. The watch was all forward, looking out for the island. The stock was so low, I had to climb into the apple barrel to get one. Suddenly, I heard voices on deck.
Oh, he's not fool, is there? I know Jericho Square. Hey, mates, how long are we supposed to stand around like blessed choir boys?
Oh, cool. By the time was the last one I recommended, and that's all along. How many first time have we seen you run a son at execution dock? And all for the same hurry. She's a first-rate seaman, Captain Smollett. So is the best ship for us.
And we're all seamen aboard here, I should think.
Full castle ends, you mean? I know what sort you are. You're never happy until you're drunk.
Yeah!
Well, Look, I don't know where the treasure is, do I? No more than you do, says you. But we got a squire and a doctor with a map and such, and the squire and doctor shall help us find the treasure and get it aboard. After that,
And after that, what is your proposal to do with them? John, Long John Silver? After that?
well, what do you think we does with them, eh? Come ashore like maroons, or call 'em up like this mud pork? Duty is duty, mates. Wait is what I says. And when the time comes, why, what a rip!
Yeah!
Away to the southwest of us, Treasure Island. 10 minutes later, we all gathered in the cabin. The squire, doctor, captain, and myself.
Well, Hawkins, you have something to say. Speak up.
I did as I was bid. I told them the whole story of Long John Silver's conversation. Then the squire rose.
Captain Smollett, you were right, and I was wrong. I call myself an ass. I await your orders.
This Long John Silver's a remarkable man.
Here's the way I see it. We must go on. And what I propose is that we don't wait for them to surprise us, but that we come to at our own time when they least expect it. There must be some faithful hands left out there. Well, must find out who they are.
Jane can help us more than anyone, but the crew is not shy with her, and Jane is a noticing lass.
Hawkins, I put prodigious faith in you.
In the meantime, there were only 7 out of our 26 on whom we knew we could rely. And of these 7, I was girl. So that meant the grown men on our side were 6 to their 19. The next day, there was not a breath of air moving, nor a sound, but there was the surf booming, half a mile away along the beaches. The heat was sweltering. The men grumbled fiercely over their work. Mutiny, it was plain, hung over us like thunderclouds. About noon, Captain Smollett came up on deck.
Me lads! We've had a hot day and we're all tired and out of sorts. A quick turn ashore hurt nobody, so you can take the gigs and as many as please can turn ashore for the afternoon.
Matt, where are you going? Matt, where you been?
Long John suspected a trick. He hopped her on the deck.
Man, where you in it? What's the hurry? Man!
Soon, the party was organized. 6 were to stay on board, and the other 13, including Long John Silver, began to embark. Suddenly, I had a mad notion to go ashore too, and in a jiffy, I slipped over the side and curled up in the fore sheets of the nearest boat. No one took notice of me. No sooner had we touched land, I leaped out and plunged into the nearest thicket. I could hear Long John Silver's voice behind me.
Jane! Go, Jane! Jane!
Long John was quick at his work. 2 faithful members of our crew were murdered that day on the island, just an hour after we landed. The first one, I heard. The second killing, I saw with my own eyes from where I lay hidden among the trees.
Well, think hard, mate. Are you with us?
Sure, Scott, seize me. I'd rather lose me hand than abandon me duty.
Mate, it's me or a bullet to the brains.
John Silver, your mate of mine no more. If I die like a dog, I die in my duty. Ye killed Alan, haven't she? Well, kill me true if he can. But I defy you.
He started to walk away.
Try this then.
Long John whipped the knife out from his belt and sent it hurtling through the air. It struck him in the back and killed him. I didn't wait. I ran as I'd never ran before. A mad laugh followed me.
Don't make me cry.
I looked up the side of the hill. Far above me, I saw something leap from behind the trunk of a tree. It looked dark and shaggy. I turned around and began to run again. Suddenly, the thing appeared and, running forward, threw itself on its knees, held out its begging hands.
Who are you? I've never been good, I am. I haven't sold you Christian these 3 years. Maroon, 3 years maroon and a goat since then. Hamberries, You might have had a piece of cheese on you, mate. Well, many the nights I dreamed of cheese. Toasted mostly. What do you call yourself, mate?
It's Jane.
Ah, well, Jane, you wouldn't think I was rich if you were to look at me.
I know, not in particular.
Well, Jane, I am rich. Bless your stars, you will. You were the first to find me.
Then his eye fell on the Hispaniola, anchored offshore, and in between it and the land was the jolly boat, with 5 men moving towards shore, but I could not tell if they were our men or the mutineers.
Jane, tell me true. Ain't that Flint shit?
It's not Flint's ship, and Flint is dead. There are some of Flint's hands aboard, though. Bad luck for us.
Not the man with the one leg.
Long John Silver.
Oh, if you were saved by Long John, I'm good as sport. I know it. I was aboard Flint's ship with Long John Silver and 6 along. When Flint buried the treasure. Yeah, they were big. There were 6 along. I remember. But then he heard Flint by himself on a little boat. But they were on the shore now, but we were sleeping. All 6 dead. Dead and buried along with the treasure. How he done it? Not a man of his command.
I told him the purpose of our voyage and the predicament we now found ourselves in.
Ah, well, that Long John, he abandoned. Well, you just put your trust in Ben Gunn. Ben Gunn's the man to help you. And you just tell that special... Jane, what's that?
So I fell on the Union Jack, fluttering in the air above the woods.
There's your friend, sure enough. I'm sure the old socket. Woo! Long John Silver climbing Jolly Roger. Woo! Jane, what's that?
It's the ship's cannon. They're shooting at the socket. Come on,
Run! Whoa! Run, let him bring you down there. But remember, Jane, when Ben Gunn is wanted, you know where to find him.
Aye, aye, Mr. Gunn.
Hey, Jane! You won't forget about that piece of cheese, will you, mate?
No, sir.
It was less than a mile to the stockade. It was heavy running through the woods. Suddenly, I came across a clearing. The smoke of muskets fired nearby.
Hey there.
Who goes there?
Hey, don't shoot. It's me.
Jane? It's Jane!
Soon, I was among my friends in the stockade, and soon after, the firing ceased. The mutineers were saving their powder. The stockade was a good place to be, with a wall about 6 feet high all around it. We could have held it against a regiment. Here, Captain Smollett said to stay and await her enemy's next move. In the meantime, I told Squire Trelawney and the Dr. Livesey about Ben Gunn.
Hey! Flag of truce! Flag of truce! Who's that?
Long John Silver, stop or we fire!
Flag of truce.
I'll take the north side.
Okay. Jane, please, going west. Lively, men in capital. What do you want with your flag of truce?
Captain Long John Silver, ma'am, have come to make terms.
Captain Long John Silver. Why, you black-hearted
Silence! Ma'am, silence! If you wish to talk to me, you can come. If there's any treachery, it'll be on your side. And the Lord help you.
That's enough, Captain. A word from you's enough. I know a gentleman.
If you've anything to say, my man, better say it.
Look, Captain Smollett, we want that treasure and we shall have it. And you have a choice, don't ya?
Such as may be.
Well, I know you have it. What I mean is, we want that treasure and we shall have it. But you give us the chart, which will make things easier for us, and I'll give you my word of honor to clap you somewhere safe on shore.
Such all you have to say?
Refuse that, now you have Nexus musket balls.
Very good. Now you'll hear me. If you all come up one by one, unarmed, I will engage to cut you all in irons and take you back to a fair trial in England. You can't find the treasure, you can't sail the ship, and you can't fight us. I stand here and tell you so, and it's the last good word you get from me.
Ha! What? Wait, from the back! Everyone knows that you're the one on the other side, then those dads will be the lucky ones.
mutineers but the 7 who had fallen. The attacking party did not come back that night. After dinner, Dr. Lansing sent for me.
Oh, Jane! Was it cheese you said Ben Gunn had a fancy for? Yes, ma'am, cheese.
Oh, well. Oh, you've seen my snuff box, haven't you? And you've never seen me take snuff. The reason being that in my snuff box, I keep a piece of Parmesan cheese. Well, that's for Ben Gunn. Will you see that he gets it? Well, good then. And good day, lads.
Then she took up her hat and pistols, got on her cutlass, and put the chart in her pocket and set off briskly through the troops. The next day, an idea came to me. This was to swim out under the cover of the night, cut the Hispaniola adrift, and let her go ashore wherever she fancied. The mutineers, after their repulse of the morning, had nothing nearer their hearts than to anchor up and away to sea. This, I thought, would be a fine thing to prevent. It was nearing dark when I reached the east coast of the island. I could see the Hispaniola anchored offshore, and there was the Jolly Roger, a black flag of piracy flying from the peak. As the last rays of sunlight dwindled and disappeared, complete darkness fell over Treasure Island. The next day, I was back on land. I was proud of myself, and for good reason. I managed to ground the Hispaniola. I beached her up tidily in the North Inlet, with no harm done, save from the mutineers. I had no trouble finding the stockade. I kept close in shadow where the darkest was thickest. I crept into the blockhouse. I could see nothing. In the dark, I felt for a place to lie down.
Well, shiver my timbers. Young Jane Hawkins, dropped in like it. Always wanted you to join my camp and take your fair share and die, gentlemen. And know my cock, here you be.
Where are my friends?
Now what do you think, girl?
Have you killed them?
What do you think?
Well, I am not such a fool, but I know pretty well what I have to expect. And there's a thing or two I have to tell you. And the first is, here you are, in a bad way. Ships lost, treasures lost, men lost. And if you want to know who did it, it was I. I was in the apple barrel the night we sighted land, and I heard you, John, and you, Dirk Johnson, and Hans, who's now at the bottom of the sea, and told every word you said before the hour was out. And as for the schooner, I was the one who cut her cable and brought her to where you'll never see her more. Not one of you. I no more fear you than I fear a fly.
Let's just get rid of her.
Oh, basta! Did any of you men want to have it out with me?
No, I'm good.
I like this girl now. This is what I says. Let me see him who lays a hand on the lad. That's what I says, and you respond to my saber! Well, you're all hot for action, so I've been waiting to show you this. What do you think it is? A chop! That's what it is, a chop! A chop is island off Flint shot. Now what do you says to that?
Yeah! This was the end of the night's business. Only much later, I woke up suddenly. I could feel someone beside me.
It's me.
Yes, Long John?
Jane, I saved your life for you tonight. Now we stick close. Jane, speaking of trouble, why did those friends of yours leave the chart when they cleared out of here? I came in the morning and on the table was the chart. Well, I couldn't miss it. Something strange is going on. Don't know if it'll be good or bad.
next morning, we set out after the treasure.
4 trees, spyglass shoulder, bearing a point to the north or northeast, Skeleton Island, southeast by east and 10.
Hey, over there! Come quick!
There, at the foot of the pine, half covered with green creeper, a human skeleton lay on the ground.
Skeleton, my gosh!
This is Pointer! One of Flint's jokes, make no mistake. Alone he killed him. Every man. And that one he hauled up and laid down as the compass. Yes!
Listen! 15 big old eggs. Standing here right here. Yo, ho, ho, Darting across.
750,000 pounds now I'm out from here. Since when did men of steel get afraid of little noise?
Later, John. Don't you cross your spirit.
A spirit? Well, maybe. Do you know whose voice that is? It's like somebody else's. It's like. But the power's been gone!
Mine's been done. They're alive. No one touches it.
Spyglass shoulder, bearing a point to the northeast, Skeleton Island, southeast by east 10.
Before us was a great ditch, and in it was the shaft of pig broken in two, and several bulls packing cases strewn around, all branded with the name Walrus. The treasure had been found and taken. The 750,000 pounds was gone.
We've been diggers! Now go nothing!
For each of these pirates is as though they had been struck. But for Long John, the blow passed almost immediately. He kept his head, found his temper, and started on a new plan before any of them could realize the disappointment.
James, take this pistol and stand by for trouble.
Fistful of sand. Gets you 700,000 pounds in it, you wood-headed lover!
Dig away, boys. Find some oysters and I shouldn't wonder.
Oysters. Mace, do you hear that? I tell you now, this one there doing all along. Look at his face. See who wrote there.
Mary, playing having the captain again. You're a pushing lad to be sure.
Mace, there's two little known there. One's the old man that brought us here, blood down. The other's that girl that means that the heart of nothing.
Yeah!
Mary was raising his voice and his fist, and was plainly mentally to strike, when then, just before you could wink, Long John fired 2 barrels of his pistol into an angry man. Mary tumbled face foremost into the sand. Long John stood over him, his pistol still smoking.
Mary, me lad, I reckon I settled you.
Then, shot his head. Yoo-hoo! This was then done, Dr. Lively and the Squire Trelawney. The doctor's plan had worked. The pirates had fallen into a trap. Forward, lads! As soon as it had started, the battle was over. Long John dropped his pistols and held up his hands into the air.
Right, I knew you'd stop by, Doctor. Come in and about the neck for me and Hawkins. Why, gun. You were a nice one to be sure.
I'm for being good, Anne. How'd you miss a Long John Silver? You've been wondering where I hid all your treasure.
Ben, to think it's you who done me in.
John Silver, you're a prodigious villain and an impostor, sir. Your crimes, sir, hang about your neck like millstones. But you saved this young girl's life, and I'll mention that at your trial.
Thank you kindly, ma'am.
It took us 3 days to move the treasure from Ben Gunn's cave to the ship. On the 8th day of December, the Hispaniola had reached Bristol Harbor. Well, that was 19 years ago. foolishly, depending on our natures. Captain Smollett is now retired from the sea. As for Ben Gunn, he spent a hearty life eating nothing but cheese. Long John disappeared off the coast of Mexico one night, and no one heard of him again. I still dream of Treasure Island. The worst dreams are when I can hear the surf booming along the beaches, and I can still hear the sharp voice of Captain Flint ringing in my ears.
Thank you for adventuring with us on the high seas. We will see you again when next you sail.
What will you do with a drunken sailor? What will you do with a drunken sailor? What will you do with a